What's good, everyone? Tweebius back with another video. In this video, I will be making another deck. So this one is a Jace Liliana deck. So it is going to be black and blue. So truthfully, I've already decided on 8 of the cards that are going into this thing. Not to mention, it is going to be a commander. I think this is the first time I've made a commander on my channel. And also the first time I've made a multicolored deck. So I've already decided on 8 of the non-land cards. 4 of which I actually recently bought, and they just came in not too long ago, which is why I'm making this now. First up, the 2 planeswalkers, Liliana, Waker of the Dead, and then Jace Beleren, and then the one that will serve as the commander is Vela the Nightclad. For those who don't know, she's a 6 mana, blue and black 4/4 human wizard with Intimidate. Other creatures you control have Intimidate. Whenever it or another creature you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. They're going to be a very library hand-controlled deck. And to ensure that, the 4th card that I actually purchased is called Jace's Erasure. It's a 2 mana blue enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, you may have target player put the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard, which is going to be really nice in this deck. So, and then the other 4 that I decided on, some of them actually came from my previous video when my previous Magic the Gathering video, where it was me opening up some packs. So first things first, we've got one of the foils I got. It's called Elder Fang Disciple. So it's a 2 mana elf cleric, 1/1 black, and whenever it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. And then I've got Depart the Realm, which is a 2 mana blue instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then it's got Foretell for 1. During your turn, you may pay 2 and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. So essentially, you could basically get it out of your hand for 2 mana, and then cast it later for its Foretell cost. And then the next one is called Behold the Multiverse. It's a 4 mana blue instant. Scry 2, then draw 2. And it also has Foretell. And then this last one, I actually was going through some of my cards earlier today, right after I went to the gym, so about like an hour ago. And well, this card came up, and it is one that I put in almost every mill deck I've ever made. It's called the Curse of the Bloody Tomb. It's a 3 mana blue enchantment or a curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So that is my starting lineup. So I've got 2 binders to go through. One binder has only black and blue cards. The other one is going to have my multicolored and my colorless. And then I've got a stack of black, blue, multicolored, and colorless to also go through. So I could make this. So I'm gonna start by going through the black and blue binder. See if anything catches my eye. Not a whole lot so far. Got a couple things in here that would be okay. I wouldn't say they'd be good, but they'd be okay. I'm not gonna lie. The whole reason I decided to make this deck because I recently bought this, as well as some Liliana Waker. Oh, Liliana Waker of the Dead. Stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make a commander deck to throw in those bitches. And that's actually the reason I went with Liliana Waker of the Dead, because it would actually match. Though, unfortunately, the art's going to be a little off because I didn't buy the more expensive one. But yeah. So I did find one that I think would be good because I already have a curse in there. I'm going to go with Curse of Thirst. It's a 5 mana black enchantment or a curse. Enchant player at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep. Curse of Thirst deals damage to that player equal to the number of curses attached to him or her. So I've already got 2 curses in there. They aren't going to be a big pinnacle of this deck, but they will be good enough. Again, not saying a whole lot. I'm in the blacks, and a lot of their stuff is like revival stuff or sack stuff. Kind of shocked I haven't seen any discard, or not too many discard. I've seen a couple. And obviously I wasn't expecting to find all of them right away anyways. I'm expecting to definitely have like something in my giant stack. Because I've got a couple of planeswalkers in there, I'm actually also going to go with Settle the Score. It's a 4 mana black sorcery. Exile target creature. Put 2 loyalty counters on a planeswalker you control. which is going to be really big, especially since I do have a couple planeswalkers in there. Here we go. So I also found this guy. It's called Mental Agony. It's a 4 mana black sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. And then I'm going to go with Gruesome Discovery. 4 mana black sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards. Morbid, if a creature died this turn instead, that player reveals his or her hand. You choose 2 cards from it, and then that player discards those cards. Again, I'm not really seeing a whole lot. Especially creatures-wise. I should probably just throw in some creatures just so I could gain some creature counts. Yeah, not seeing a whole lot that would be useful. Actually, I just saw this guy. It's called Reap the Seagraph. It's a 3 mana black sorcery. Oh, damn it. I dropped it. Here, I'll just grab another one. It's fine. I'll look for that one later. I do that sometimes. And it says put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. And then it's got flashback for 5. So, yeah. Nice and purty. Give me a little bit of a creature base. And then I'm going to throw in a Mind Rot. 3 mana black. And target player discards 2 cards. I'm going to throw in Tormented Thoughts. It's a 3 mana black sorcery. It's a rather interesting one. So it says, as an additional cost to cast Tormented Thoughts, sacrifice a creature. Target player discards a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power. And it looks like that's the end of the black for now. I have a feeling I'm going to get more creatures from my blue than I am from my black. Actually, I will use that one. So right off the bat, I've got Prescient Chimera. I don't know how you pronounce that. Whatever. It's a 5 mana blue creature chimera 3/4 with flying, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you scry 1. So that'll be nice. Not seeing as much as I would have hoped. That's going to be a no. All right, here's a good one. It's called Tezzeret's Ambition. So it's a 5 mana blue sorcery. It says draw 3 cards. If you control no artifacts, discard a card. So, which I do plan on throwing some in here. Let's count my cards so far. So I've got 17 so far. I need about 55, I would say. 55 is a good number of that stuff. Too bad some of the ones that would be good in this, I've already put in other decks. And it kind of irritates me. Like, I've got a enchantment called Omniscience, that says you can cast non-land cards from your hand for 0. But if you have like one that costs X too, you still have to pay the X cost. Just everything else will cost 0. So that one's really nice. Oh, I have a habit of using this one, but it's really good. So it's called a Vidakian Entrancer. It's a 4 mana blue Vidakian wizard creature, 1/4, and for 1 blue and tap it, target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So that one's really nice. I love using him for a mill deck. finding a lot of stuff that would be good in an artifact deck. I guess that makes sense because I don't really have a good artifact deck. Artifacts really aren't my thing. Like, I use them in just, I think I use them in pretty much every deck I build, but I don't use them in mass. I have an artifact deck, it's just not very good. Where are my mill cards? Because that's what's going to make this really good. Like, the draw cards, yeah, those are good, but without some of the benefits of having red in here, they're not really going to do much. Draw is just so I can get to my other stuff. In this deck. Actually, yeah. So I'm gonna go with a creature, another one. Parasitic Strix. It's a 3-mana artifact creature bird, 2/2, blue, flying. When Parasitic Strix comes into play, if you control a black permanent, target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Here we are. So this one affects me as well. So I'm less likely to use stuff like this, but it's fine. So this one's called Chill of Foreboding. It's a 3-mana blue sorcery. Each player puts the top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. And then it's got flashback of 8. And I'm only doing it because it's a mill card. And it's one of the few I've seen so far. Some of these I'm seeing would be really good in specific things. In specific decks. So I'm not really finding a use for them in my deck. Alright, so I'm gonna throw in Screeching Scab. So it's a 2 mana blue 2/1, and whenever it enters the battlefield, I put the top 2 cards of my library into my graveyard. Alright, so I found Cortush. Cortush. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Of Knowledge. So it's a 2 mana blue enchantment or a cartouche. We're gonna call it cartouche. Enchant creature you control, and whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And enchant creature gets +1/+1, gains flying. Like so. Not so bad. Not a whole lot of interest. Alright, so that concludes my first binder. So let's count it after the first binder. So I've got 22. So I'm looking at 33 more that I need. Whoa! 33 more that I need. Binder number 2. If this weren't a commander, I could throw in a third planeswalker in there. Vraska, Swarm's Eminence. But this is a commander, so unfortunately I can't do that. Wouldn't be a bad one to throw in there. However, I did find a third planeswalker. So it is Ashiok, Dream Render. So it's a 3 mana, blue and black, 5 loyalty counter, legendary planeswalker, Ashiok. Spells and abilities my opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library. Target player puts the top 4 -1. Target player puts the top 4 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, then exile each opponent's graveyard. That is a great addition. I've often heard that for commanders, you should have mana ramp. I've heard like on average you should have about 8 mana ramp. So I'm going to go with Mistvein Border Post. It's a 3 mana black blue artifact. You may pay 1 and return a basic land card you control to its owner's hand rather than pay its mana cost. Enters battlefield tapped, and I can add a blue or a black. Bit of an older one from Shards of Alara. Again, I'm not seeing a whole lot. I think I'm coming up on the tail end of my multicolored though. Oh, I did find another one though. Just in time. It's called Thought Erasure. It's a 2 mana, black and blue, sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card, and then surveil 1. Look top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard, and I believe if you don't put it into your graveyard, you just put it back. Okay, moving into my colorless. More or less, this is just going to be the rest of my mana ramp stuff. I did find one, finally. It's not a mana ramp, but it is still pretty good. It's called Firefinder. It's a 3 mana colorless creature Fox, 1/1, Vigilance. And when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. My little fox. So I actually found two perfect ones for this. They're two monuments. So Kefnet's Monument and Bontu's Monument. So Kefnet is a 3 mana colorless legendary artifact. Blue creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Right there. And then Bontu's same color, mana cost and typage, but it says black creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then I'm gonna go with the Dimmer Cluestone, obviously. It's a 3 mana colorless, tap it, add blue or black, tap blue and black, tap it, sack it, and draw a card. And then I'm also going to do Ring of Evos Isle. It's a 2 mana colorless artifact equipment. Equip cost for 1 at the beginning of your upkeep. Put a ++1 counter on equipped creature if it's blue. And then for 2 mana, equipped creature gains hexproof until end of turn. And that concludes my second binder. So we will move on to my stack of cards. I'm gonna go with Muse Drake. It's a 4 mana blue Drake creature, 1/3, flying. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And then I'm going to go with Rousing Reed. It's a 3-mana blue enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Then discard a card. Enchant creature gets +1/+1, has flying. Alright, this one's not a bad one. It requires me to have the City's Blessing for it to be super good, but it's still good. Kumena's Awakening. 4 mana, blue enchantment. Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. And at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. If you have the City's Blessing instead, only you draw card. So I mean, all right. Because I have Planeswalkers in here, I'm going to throw in Kiora's Dambreaker. The 6 mana blue, 5/6, and when it enters the battlefield, proliferate. So I'm going to also do Opt. It's a 1 mana a blue instant, scry 1 and draw a card. I'm also going to do Redirect. It's a 2 mana blue instant. You may choose new targets for target spell. That'll come in handy when it comes to anything, really. Any spell that targets anything I control. And then I'm also going to do Stern Mentor. Stern Mentor is a really good mill card. So 4 mana, Soulbound. Soulbound basically means you pair it with another creature when either Stern Mentor or the other creature enters battlefield. So it's a 4 mana blue, 2/2 Soulbound. As long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures gets tapped. This target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Then I'm also going to do Anticipate. That's what that does. I'll also do Curse of Inertia, because I've already got 2 other curses in here. Might as well. That's what that does. Not a whole lot. I'm down to just black at the moment. So... which is... I'll go with Zulaport Cutthroat. It's a 2 mana black 1/1. And there's its ability. And then I'll go with Severed Strands. It's a 2 mana black sorcery. That's what that does. Liliana's Triumph. It's a 2 mana black instant. That's that. Oh, Burglar Rat as well. So it's a 2 mana black 1/1 rat creature. Let's not drop that. My shit will focus. Right there. Then we'll go with Sign in Blood. It's a 2 mana black sorcery. Right there. Macabre Waltz. It's a 2 mana black sorcery. Right there. Talara's Bane. So it's a 2 mana black sorcery. This one I kind of want to read out to you guys. So it's going to be target opponent reveals his or her hand. Choose a green or white creature card. Jesus. From it, you gain life equal to that card's toughness. Then that player discards that card. Oh yeah, there you are. It's not bad for only 2 mana. And I believe this is my last one. I'll go with Thirsting Shade. It's a 1 mana black shade creature 1/1. And that's its abilities. So that was me making a Liliana Jace deck. Please remember, if you like this sort of content, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, go follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LordWeebius. And yeah, that's about it.